Close your eyes for a second and imagine a country where the sky is as blue as the deepest lake and the air smells fresh, like wildflowers after rain. Now, imagine you wake up and see tall mountains all around you. Some of these mountains are so high, they are covered with snow, even in the summer. Down below, there are green valleys with cows slowly walking and eating grass. The sound of bells on their necks fills the air, like soft music you hear in a dream. You might be surprised to learn that this place is not far away on another planet. This country is real, and it sits right in the center of Europe. It is called Switzerland. Switzerland is a small country, but it feels very big when you look at the tall Alps, deep forests, and bright, clear lakes. Switzerland does not touch the ocean, so there are no beaches here, only mountains, rivers, and lakes. If you stand at the highest mountain, called the Spitze, you can see other countries on the horizon. France, Italy, Germany, Austria, and Liechtenstein are all neighbors of Switzerland. Imagine you are standing on a hill, and just by walking a few kilometers, you could visit another country. That is everyday life for some people in Switzerland. When you take a train ride through Switzerland, it feels like you are traveling inside a storybook. The trains move slowly between mountains and through long tunnels, and every time you look out the window, the view changes. One minute, you see a village with wooden houses and red roofs, and the next, you see a deep blue lake with boats floating like tiny toys. Switzerland is famous for how clean and beautiful everything is. People care a lot about nature, so you almost never see trash in the streets or in the parks. In spring, fields turn yellow and purple with flowers. In summer, people swim in the lakes and have picnics under big trees. When autumn comes, the air is cool and the leaves turn golden and red. In winter, snow covers the roofs and streets, and everything feels quiet and calm. Some people say Switzerland looks like a fairy tale in every season. But behind the beautiful views, there are real people with real stories. Let's look deeper and see what daily life in Switzerland is really like. Life in Switzerland. Every morning in Switzerland begins with the sound of church bells, birds singing, and maybe the soft whistling of a train in the distance. Many Swiss people wake up early, eat breakfast with fresh bread, cheese, and sometimes a piece of sweet chocolate. Swiss bread is famous for being crunchy on the outside and soft inside, and every village has its own bakery. Going to work or school is easy for most people because the trains and buses are almost always on time. In fact, Swiss trains are known as some of the most punctual in the whole world, and people even joke that you can set your watch by them. Children usually walk or ride their bikes to school, often without their parents. It is very safe, and everyone looks out for each other, so people feel comfortable letting their children be independent. During the day, adults work in different jobs, such as making watches, working at banks, teaching, or helping tourists find their way. Switzerland is famous for its beautiful watches and strong banks, but many people also work on farms, in shops, or in offices. Lunch is usually simple, maybe a sandwich, some fruit, and of course, a small piece of Swiss chocolate. People love to take breaks outside, enjoying the fresh mountain air, even if it is only for a few minutes. After work or school, families spend time together. Some people go hiking or biking in the mountains. Others play games, read books, or visit friends for a cup of coffee. Weekends are special times for family picnics, swimming in a lake, or going to see a festival in a village. The Swiss love their traditions, and you can see people wearing traditional clothes at special festivals. You might hear the sound of an Alp horn, which is a long wooden horn used in the mountains to call cows or play music. There are also many small markets where people sell fresh vegetables, cheese, bread, and handmade crafts. Swiss life is peaceful, simple, and close to nature. People believe in working hard, but they also know how to relax and enjoy the little things. Maybe that is why so many people who visit Switzerland wish they could stay forever. 4 languages and cultures. One of the most surprising things about Switzerland is that people here speak not just 1 or 2, but 4 different languages. Imagine living in a place where you can drive for 1 hour and suddenly everyone is speaking a different language. In the West, people speak French. In the East, they speak German. Down in the South, people use Italian. And in a small part of the country, people speak a language called Romansh, which you might never hear anywhere else in the world. This mix of languages makes Switzerland feel like 4 countries in one. Street signs, train announcements, and even menus in restaurants can have 3 or 4 languages on them. Many people in Switzerland grow up learning at least 2 languages, and it is normal for a Swiss child to speak with their teacher in German, talk to their neighbor in French, and watch TV in Italian. You might wonder, is it confusing to have so many languages? Sometimes it is, but the Swiss are very good at understanding each other. They learn to listen carefully, and if they do not know a word, they just switch to another language until everyone understands. It is a little bit like a secret superpower. The different languages also mean there are many traditions, foods, and music styles. In the German-speaking part, people might eat bratwurst and listen to yodeling. In the French-speaking part, people love fondue, which is melted cheese you eat with bread, and they listen to French songs. In the Italian-speaking area, people enjoy pasta and dance at summer festivals in the town square. But no matter which language they speak, Swiss people share the same values. They believe in being polite, helping each other, and taking care of their beautiful country. It does not matter if you say hello with greasy, bonjour, buongiorno, or allegra. Everyone feels at home in Switzerland. Switzerland's big secrets. Switzerland might look peaceful and quiet on the outside, but it actually has some very big secrets that make the country special. One of the first secrets is how Switzerland has stayed neutral during big world wars. While many countries were fighting, Switzerland stayed out of the fighting and tried to help people from both sides. People around the world call Switzerland a neutral country, which means it does not pick sides during wars. Because of this, many countries trust Switzerland, and they choose Swiss cities for important meetings and peace talks. Another big secret is under the mountains. Hidden deep inside the Alps are thousands of tunnels, some for trains and cars, and some that were made to protect people during dangerous times. There are even stories about hidden rooms with food and supplies, ready in case of an emergency. Many people do not know that almost every Swiss home and school has its own shelter, just in case there is a big problem. This makes Swiss people feel safe, no matter what happens outside. Switzerland is also famous for its banks. People from all over the world put their money in Swiss banks because they trust them to keep everything safe and private. Swiss watches are another secret to success. They are made with great care and can last for many years, sometimes even longer than a lifetime. Making watches is like making tiny pieces of art, and many families have been doing it for hundreds of years. But maybe the biggest secret is how the Swiss stay so happy and calm, even when life gets hard. They trust each other, they respect rules, and they always try to solve problems together. They say that life in Switzerland is not perfect, but it is always safe and steady, like the mountains around them. Now, let's go outside and see the most famous part of Switzerland, the Swiss Alps, where adventure and beauty wait for everyone. The Swiss Alps. If you ask people around the world what they know about Switzerland, most will say the same thing. They think of the Swiss Alps. These are the tall, snowy mountains that cover more than half of Switzerland, making it one of the most beautiful places on Earth. The Alps look like giant white waves frozen in time, and every year, millions of people travel to see them. In winter, the Alps become a playground for skiing and snowboarding. Children and adults put on their warmest clothes, ride up the mountain in cable cars, and slide down snowy hills with big smiles on their faces. Skiing is not just a sport in Switzerland. It is a way to enjoy life, to spend time with family, and to celebrate the cold months. Even people who do not ski still love to walk in the snowy forests or sit in a small wooden house, drinking hot chocolate and watching the snow fall outside. The Alps are also home to some of Switzerland's most famous places. You might have heard of Zermatt, where you can see the Matterhorn mountain, shaped like a giant triangle touching the sky. Lucerne is another beautiful city, where you can walk across old wooden bridges and look at mountains rising behind clear blue lakes. The Jungfrau region has trains that climb up to the top of Europe, where the air is thin, the sky is deep blue, and the snow never melts, even in summer. In the warmer months, the Alps are full of wildflowers, green meadows, and clear streams that run down to the lakes below. People hike on long trails, breathe the fresh air, and take pictures of cows with big bells on their necks. It feels peaceful and free, like there is no stress in the world at all. You can see families having picnics, friends riding bikes, and children running on the grass. For the Swiss, the Alps are more than just mountains. They are a symbol of home, of strength, and of the quiet beauty that makes Switzerland different from any other country. People say that when you stand on a mountain and look down at the world below, your problems feel smaller and your heart feels lighter. But, as perfect as the Alps seem, living in Switzerland is not always easy. Let's look at some of the real challenges people face here. Introduce a problem or challenge. Switzerland looks like a perfect picture, but life here is not always simple or easy. One of the biggest challenges is the cost of living. Everything in Switzerland is very expensive. Buying a sandwich or a bus ticket can cost much more than in most other countries. Even going to the doctor or renting a small apartment can take a big part of a person's money each month. Another problem is how hard it is to become a Swiss citizen. Switzerland is open to visitors, but it is not easy for someone from another country to move here and stay forever. There are many rules, and people have to wait a long time before they can call themselves Swiss. The weather can also be a challenge. In the winter, some places are cold and snowy for many months. This can make people feel lonely or tired. Some villages are so high in the mountains that it is hard to go anywhere when the roads are covered in snow. Because Switzerland has 4 languages, sometimes people do not always understand each other. It can be confusing for someone who moves to a new part of the country and suddenly has to learn a new language, or try to make friends in a place where people use different words for simple things like bread or milk. So, even in a beautiful country, there are problems that people need to solve every day. Would you find it difficult to live in a place where everything is expensive and you have to speak new languages and face cold winters? Now, let's see how the Swiss people deal with these challenges and what makes their way of life special. So, how do the Swiss people manage these big challenges in their daily lives? The answer is simple but powerful. They support each other, work together, and stay connected to their communities. In Switzerland, people believe in sharing ideas and helping neighbors, no matter what language they speak. To solve the problem of high prices, Swiss people try not to waste money. They plan their spending carefully and often cook at home with local food. Many towns have small weekly markets where farmers sell fresh fruit, vegetables, cheese, and bread. Buying local food helps save money and also supports local farmers. Because the country is small and has many languages, Swiss people learn to be patient and curious about each other's cultures. In schools, Children learn more than one language from a young age. Many adults keep learning new languages for work, travel, and friendship. This makes it easier for everyone to understand each other and work as a team. When winter feels too long and cold, Swiss people bring warmth into their homes and hearts with simple traditions. They light candles, cook warm meals, invite friends for fondue, and decorate their houses to make the dark months feel brighter. There are winter festivals, music events, and small celebrations that help everyone feel less lonely. For people who want to become Swiss citizens, the journey is long, but not impossible. Those who really want to stay must show that they respect Swiss rules, care about their new home, and try to speak at least one of the local languages. It is not easy, but many people feel proud when they finally get their Swiss passport. Maybe the most important lesson from Switzerland is that when people respect each other and the world around them, even hard challenges become easier to face. Being open-minded, working hard, and caring for nature help everyone in Switzerland live happier lives. Next, let's look at a special moment that shows the heart of Swiss life and what makes this country so unique. There is a story from Switzerland that shows just how much trust and freedom people have in this country. Imagine a small town on a cold winter morning. The streets are covered with snow, and the sky is still dark. In many parts of the world, children wait for their parents to take them to school. But in Switzerland, something different happens. Here, it is common to see children as young as 6 years old walking to school by themselves, even when the ground is icy and snow is falling. They wear warm jackets, hats, and boots, and sometimes carry small backpacks almost as big as they are. The roads have safe paths, and the drivers always stop to let children cross, because everyone respects the rules. Neighbors watch out for each other, and the whole community feels like one big family. This trust is not just about safety, it is about teaching children to be strong, responsible, and independent from a young age. They learn to solve problems, find their own way, and take care of themselves and their friends. It may look risky from the outside, but for Swiss families, it is a normal and important part of growing up. Another key moment comes every year on August 1st, which is Swiss National Day. On this day, families and friends gather together, light small fires, wave flags, and watch fireworks explode over the mountains and lakes. People eat special foods, tell stories, and remember the long history that brought so many different people together in one small country. These moments show what really matters in Switzerland. Trust, respect, and a strong sense of community help make this country feel safe and special, even when life is not easy. Now, let's bring everything together and see what we can learn from the story of Switzerland. Switzerland is much more than just a land of mountains, chocolate, and cheese. It is a small country with big ideas, 4 languages, and people who care deeply about nature, family, and community. Switzerland is famous for its beautiful trains, safe streets, and old traditions. But the real magic comes from the way people trust each other and work together, no matter what language they speak or what challenges they face. Life in Switzerland is not always simple. Things can be expensive, the weather can be cold, and learning many languages is not easy. But Swiss people show us that with patience, respect, and hard work, it is possible to build a happy life, even when things are tough. The story of Switzerland reminds us to enjoy simple moments, to be kind to our neighbors, and to take care of the world around us. Maybe one day you will visit Switzerland and see the snowy mountains, taste real Swiss chocolate, and hear people say hello in 4 different ways. But even if you never go there, you can use the lessons from Switzerland in your own life. Trust others, stay curious, and try to learn something new every day. If you enjoyed learning about Switzerland, there are many more stories waiting for you. If you want to discover more amazing countries and stories, Watch the next video that is now on your screen. Subscribe to the English Journey so you never miss a new adventure.